Other people are not so impressed with your victory as you are, that's for certain. But it doesn't really matter what they think, because it's almost like you have distanced yourself and go, yeah, eat my dust. Hi, my name's Dee, and welcome to Sunchild Tarot, and to the fantastically titled Martian Galactic Downloads. On the 12th and 13th of February, Mars will conjunct the Galactic Centre at 27 degrees Sagittarius. Now, this is something that happens every couple of years due to the combination of the orbit of Earth and Mars. Now, every time, according to the astrologers, this is what I've gathered, every time a planet crosses the galactic center, it gets recharged. It gets a transmission from the galactic center. It gets very, very slightly reprogrammed. So the way that Mars energy will be exhibiting itself in our life from here on in, well, for the next couple of years, will be very, very slightly different to the way it's been exhibiting itself in the last couple of years. Having said that, Mars is Mars is Mars. It's only a slight difference, but there is still that element of reprogramming or recharging. Now, this is a general reading, so general reading rules will apply, and you want to watch more than one. There's quite a bit of waffle on this bit, but you will find a timestamp in the description down below, just so that you can fast forward past all this bit once you've watched it once. You want to look at your sun, your moon, your rising, but most importantly, I would say you want to look at your placement of Mars, and you want to be aware not just what sign it's in and watch the reading for that one, but also be aware what house Mars is in for you, so that you can see what area of your life the Martian energies will be most exhibiting themselves. Now, I've said about the birth chart. I did the similar readings for the Venus conjunct Galactic Center, or more to the point, Venus conjunct Jupiter conjunct Galactic Center. There's the Jupiter ones before Christmas, November time, wasn't it? These readings, in effect, from what I've just said, are still valid. So I will put the playlists up later. I will be using quite a lot of cards for this. I was instructed to use quite a lot of cards. Quantum Oracle, Numerology Guidance cards, Gateway Oracle, Enchanted Map, the Daemon Tarot, and for the main tarot decks, Tarot Illuminati, Spellcaster Tarot, and my main deck being the Thoth deck. Also, I'll be using the Oracle of Heaven and Hell from Bloodstone Studios, and if the Devil card comes up, I will clarify with my Demon Possessed Tarot, again from Bloodstone Studios. They are well worth checking out. So, if the reading means anything to you, please do subscribe down below. And like I say, get that birth chart. Click on the link, get the birth chart, have a read of it. It'll be useful for you. With no further ado, let me bring up the cards. Of course, it might help if I actually told you what the question is that I'm asking. So, the question is, how can we best utilize the galactic download, the reprogrammed Martian energies in our lives? How can we best take advantage of this? Back to your normal scheduled service. Right, Taurus, it seems that the Martian download, or the Martian galactic download, is going to bring you a time of challenge. And the reason that I say that is this Goblins card right here at the top out of the Enchanted Map, clarified by the sun reversed. There's going to be a little bit of a dark time, a little bit of a challenge. And when I say a little bit, maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's more, but we have 9 of Swords on the bottom of one of the decks, but the Chariot and the Queen of Pentacles on another. So it is up for you to be in a caring and nurturing role, although there's no 4 of Pentacles that I can see yet, but I've not checked the clarifying cards. In the numerology cards, we have intuition and relationship change. But where it's talking about using intuition, this is being clarified by the Moon card. So it's a matter of balancing polarities balancing the tame and the wild, balancing opposite forces, while not knowing all of the details and possibly under a misapprehension. But with relationship change, I also want to draw here to Hakamaya, an angel who represents here loyalty. The reverse of this is treason and revolt, clarified by the temperance in reverse. And what I'm getting from those is that you need to stick to your loyalties and what you, those that you have decided you are, can't even think of the phrase, but those who you are allied with, no matter what is changing, because although there are relationship changes, there's a lot of transformation around you. It's been going on, or you've been known it's coming, and you've been quite apprehensive about this, to say the least. Four of Pentacles. I knew there was one somewhere. Although there is a relationship change, I don't think that necessarily your loyalties need to change. It's just the nature of the relationship with the person that you have loyalty to may well be changing. That could be for the better if you are wanting to take things in a romantic development, or it could be for the better if they are offering you a job, and whereas before you were friends, now you are actually boss and employee, but you are still friends, you are still loyal, there is still that bond there. But things are changing. The Gateway Oracle card said accepting what is and giving you the Four of Pentacles, protecting what you need to protect. So I knew there was that Four of Pentacles energy somewhere. You've got a whole new beginning going on at the minute. We start with the Fool. We start with the Fool, the Empress, and the King of Cups. So there's a new beginning that you are feeling quite okay and secure with. And it's about time, because you're coming from a time of... You're coming from a time where you were really, really stressing yourself out. There was a lot of anxiety, but as much as you felt trapped, you felt safe there at the same time. But you did the inner work, you listened to the guidance that came to you, you listened to the little signals, and you have moved on because you're in this new start at the moment. But what is standing against you, what is challenging you, is maybe in the back of this anxiety, you've been a little bit too defensive and a little bit too assertive, not to the point of aggression, but to the point of moving too fast with things. And you have had, although you have the material goods to tide you through all of this, the material resources to tide you through all of this, they have come under threat by you acting a little bit too fast and acting a little bit rashly and maybe a little bit, dare I say, bolshy, because Son of Wands, Prince of Wands, forging ahead, forging forward, Ten of Pentacles. It could also be that there's something within the domestic life that is holding you back. But I rather feel that it's something that the domestic life could be quite fine, if that's what you're wanting, but somehow it is either under threat or threatening. Right, so let's see what Spirit is giving to you, what crowns the situation. You have an option of change coming up. You have change, and you have change in the period that you're going into. Death card here, death card here. But there's still something that you are deliberately being kept blind to, because I'm getting from that whole now is not the time. But there is a whole new dream coming up for you, or there is a dream being given to you at the moment. But it seems quite complicated. It seems like it's constantly weaving in and out of itself. There's 2 steps forward, 1 step back a lot of the time. And something that you are required to hold a lot of balance with, but you are listening to this guidance, this gift from spirit already, because we have Two of Pentacles of to how you're feeling, even though you're aware that where you're going there is conflict, but there's conflict around you already. And I think it's quite possible that part of this conflict is from the point that you are or you have been breaking the chains that have been holding you down, which would explain why the Ten of Pentacles was working against you. A domestic environment that was limiting you, holding you back from something. I mean, because you've got a wonderful clarity about that now, and the urge to surge forward. And I do get a real, from this Ace of Swords, a real take no prisoners vibe. But I don't see a King of Swords here yet. Princess of Swords, Princess of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Right, so for what you are wanting to accomplish for this path forward, not particularly new path, because I feel it's already on the go, but it's about to transform. But it may well transform without domestic support, without that home base that you was concentrating on, not concentrating on, but thriving from, living from. But part of that home base, I think, was what was restricting you in the first place. So, of course, if it's going to go, it's got to go, because you are moving on. Because it's interesting, from Le Carte Infernal, the Demon Tarot, Flagger. Now, Flagger is a Scandinavian witch. There's not much known about her, but for this particular oracle set, it's about focusing on clearing away debris, physical or mental obstructions. There's quite a lot of that going on here. The mental obstructions with this Eight of Swords in the past, where you were chained, where you were held back, partly with your own consent, because you put your son there, but also that the home life, the domestic life, the material life is a little bit of a challenge for you. What is interesting with this flagger, however, the word flagger gave us a somewhat archaic definition, blah, 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 of the English word flaw. A sudden, short burst of cleansing wind, a gust of passion, or a rising noise that leaves only silence in its wake. There is a matter of clearing stuff out, which again will show this relationship change. But this can be for the better. But I don't think that if this is someone changing their relationship to you, I don't think you will see it that way to start off with. But bear in mind, this can also be you changing their relationship with them as you are breaking these domestic chains and as you are moving forward, not necessarily with the benefit of a good stable base to work from. But you will be manifesting what you need and want to manifest. Six of Cups. So from one oppressive, very earthy home, material resources home, to something that feels a lot better, but it's made of something more ephemeral. It is dreams, wishes, memories, and loving feelings. Definitely loving feelings. But that is exactly what you wanted to manifest through the transformation that is coming. But you will be under threat while you are doing this. But where I say under threat, it's day-to-day challenges, I think. You've just got to hold your loyalties, even though you are changing the rules, and you've got to hold your loyalties even if somebody else is changing the rules. But this is something that you need to plan for. And I believe that if you are waiting for news before you start acting on these plans of the I'm getting out of here, when you receive that news, you're able to plan, and that's when this reading is kicking in. But you've got to accept how things are changing around you, as well as the fact that you are changing. Because other people... Other people are not so impressed with your victory as you are, that's for certain. But it doesn't really matter what they think, because it's almost like you have distanced yourself and go, yeah, eat my dust. You've distanced yourself and you're looking down from them from a lofty vantage point, going, I've got what I wanted. I've got what you said I couldn't have. I have accomplished what you said I couldn't. But there's something that is still being hidden from you here, and it's not only being hidden from you by spirit, it's being hidden from you by other people. And I believe that this may be something that will come and challenge your new beginning. You can weather it. There's no worries about that, because you want to know that you are following your intuition by taking this new start, but you are. Simple as you are. So the final outcome cards. This was quick. The final outcome cards. We have the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. Okay, so you have a choice. You can grab your dream. You can grab other options as well, but you also have many good options on how to take your dream forward. The Lovers card maybe offers the relationship aspect. Let me, where are they? In fact, why not? I rarely get these out because I'm not really a romance angels type of guy, but let's just see. Okay, that one wanted to pop out. And you deserve love, you are lovable. Right, so you are moving into a new situation where the door is opening to love. Whether that's a self-love because of all this anxiety that's in the past, or whether it is the love of somebody else who wasn't necessarily welcome where you were before, that's a whole different question. But there is a choice of making a marriage of the two aspects of your life by changing the rules. And if somebody else is changing the rules, you still need to make that form of sacred marriage between the two contradictory parts of yourself. You're the bit of you of this is the new me, and that's an old tie, but that old tie has changed as well. But if you change, so can they, and vice versa. You know, so there's a lot of hope, even though there's challenges here with these goblins. Let's have a look. What can I use to clarify these goblins? Because all it's telling me is that there is a darker time with the sun reversed. Okay, you need to make sure that your plans, a whole chunk fell out here, so I'll just read the chunk. That first card, planning and action, you need to make sure that your plans are set firm, because they will be called to the test. You will have to stand up for this new phase that you're going into, new life, new house, new relationship, new whatever the new thing is. And though it'll get my teeth in. Strength will be required of you because you will be working alone with this, which makes that Romance Angels card make it think it's more about a self-love thing, because you're doing what's right for you. But keep following your intuition, and it will come, the material aspect of the world, the grounded 3D manifestation of what you want to do. Bear in mind, you've got two Queen of Wands, you've got one here, and somebody else is already aware of what you can achieve when you put your mind to it. Now, Taurus, you can be slow at starting moving, but once you're moving, it's very difficult to stop you. So just make sure that your journey is planned, because it will work out nicely. Right, so that's everything. So that was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. So your tell a lie. One last thing. Pisces and Aries didn't get this. And Taurus, this may all be happening in your birthday season, or be aware when Mars is in your sign. Because I have Taurus on this zodiac dice here. So yeah, be aware when it's in your sign. Be aware that it could be birthday season where all this is occurring. Be aware that, I mean, the reading itself theoretically occurs over a span of 2 years, but this is all quite fast when it gets moving. Okay, so I hope this means something to you, Taurus. If it does, comment down below. Your next reading will be your new moon reading, and then bear in mind, with, as I say, can last 2 years. That means the Venusian galactic download and the Jupiter conjunct galactic center galactic download reading, they're still valid, especially the Jupiter one, because look how slowly Jupiter moves. It's going to be a while before that's back at galactic center. So have a look at those. I will be leaving the playlist, no, that way. I'll be leaving the playlists up. They should be probably covering my face as I speak right now. Good luck with all of this. Like I said, the key is planning, but stick to your loyalties. You know who you are loyal to. As much as the relationships change, that loyalty aspect doesn't need to, shouldn't. All right? Cheers.